The boarders begin, and we see Farhan boarding a plane and traveling. He receives a call, and the plane is already on its way. After the call, he has to get off the plane immediately. He pretends to have a heart problem, and indeed the plane stops and he gets off. Honestly, if we weren't five, we'd have thrown him off the plane. He escapes from passengers. After that, he calls his friend Rasho and tells him to come to college quickly because he just got a call from their friend Chatter, who told him that their friend Rancho is back. And it's been a very long time since they've seen Rancho. They haven't heard anything about him, so he runs quickly to go to him, and he leaves before even finishing getting dressed. He goes to meet Uncle Farhan, and this college is the Royal Engineering College. They meet each other and run up to the college rooftop, to the place where they're supposed to meet their friend Rancho, and they find Uncle Chatur there. Up there, he greets them, saying, "Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome, sir." Then, he shows them some pictures of his expensive house and car. They say, "Mashallah, that's really nice. Why are you showing us these things?" They don't understand. He wipes the wall, revealing a carved date, September 5th. We learn there was a long-ago bet between him and your Uncle Rancho to meet after 10 years and see who became richer and more successful. They get upset and say, "We went through all this trouble to see Rancho, and you're acting foolish." He replies, "I kept my promise and fulfilled the bet after 10 years, but now I know Rancho is in Timla. So what do we do now? We go see him because, And they get in the car and head over there. And we see that Farhan is remembering memories, and that when he was first born, his family decided he would go into engineering. From the moment he was born, they knew he wasn't just a person, he was an engineer. And he actually did get into it when he grew up, even though he doesn't even like engineering in the first place. And then we see that he's going to stay in the dorm with Rancho and Raju, and we see him meet a guy named Manlamtar, who carries the bags, and he tells him that he's the porter here. Your Uncle Farhan arrives at his lodging and finds Raju, who was very religious at the time, and they meet there. The senior students at the college are throwing a hazing party, a welcome party for the new students, and they make them take off their clothes and keep mocking them. Your Uncle Rancho arrives, and two seniors ask him to undress like the others, but he ignores them and goes to his room. A guy threatens, "If you don't come out, I'll do this to your room every day," and counts from 1 to 10. "Come on, boss, hurry up because I'm in a hurry right now, and everyone is watching wondering what's going to happen." And we see that your Uncle Rancho is very smart. He sets a trap by tying a spoon to a T-shaped ruler and attaching an electric wire. They slip it under the door, while the student is still trying to figure it out. He touches the spoon, so of course when he touches the spoon, he gets electrocuted and almost gets sterilized. Uncle Rancho appears, scaring everyone and raising concerns about unexpected electricity, then goes back. Some students are amazed by his actions, and then the college principal appears. His name is Vero, but he's known as Virus. He hates wasting time so much that he sticks his shirt together instead of buttoning it. Are we really going to waste time buttoning shirts? And he only sleeps 7 minutes a day, but during that time, he gets to the barber to fix his hair and beard, also to save time. Sorry, but we really have to catch up with ourselves. And even when he's writing on the board, he writes with 2 hands at the same time, also to save time. I mean, let's just get things done already. That's the whole point. I don't have time for this, but he goes to the university with his pigeon and gives a motivational talk to the new students. He just keeps going. He says this old college has 3 types of people: men, women, and engineers. It's the hardest college in India, engineering again. We also have the hardest college in Egypt, engineering. I wish engineering was the hardest college globally. He pulls out a pen, saying it's for astronauts. Regular pens don't work in space due to gravity, so this one was made for writing there. He tells them the previous dean gave him this pen as a student, saying, "You will be my successor in success." Now, over 30 years have passed. He can't find anyone to give it to. "This pen will choose a successor, and your smart uncle is determined to take it and become that successor." It's your Uncle Virus's, but Uncle Rancho interrupts, asking, "Wait, what's wrong with it? But why don't scientists use a pencil in space? Is it just for show or what? You get it." Virus is really shocked by this question. He starts stammering and dodging the answer. Honestly, it's shocking. Using a pencil shouldn't cost millions, right? A pencil, not my heart, Mom. "Uncle, what's wrong with you?" After everything, he just says, "I'll tell you later, don't worry." Rancho is clearly happy because he truly understands, not just memorizes. And we see a lecture where a professor is explaining machines, and then Rancho is asked, "Tell me, what's the definition of a machine?" So Rancho answers him, "It's anything humans invented to make work easier, regardless of the field." But the professor tells him, "Sorry, that's not the right answer." Then Chatoro gives the exact definition from the book, and the professor's very impressed with him. He says, "Wow, son, it looks like you're going to be a great engineer." So Rancho says, "Aren't I one already?" Explain this more simply. What is complexity and why? Is all the complexity in the books needed? The professor expels him for just memorizing instead of thinking. If you lose the words, you must think for yourself. So the responsibility is ours, right? Why not just do what our fathers did? Before leaving, Uncle Rancho says, "Sorry, I forgot something." then gives a long definition, something that aids learning, education, and enlightenment. A paper-bound volume with an index and introduction. The professor asks, "Excuse me, what are you saying?" "That's my son," and you just say sorry. He answers, "Sorry, I forgot the book." The professor then says, "Why not just say it's the book?" He says, "I gave you the simplest definition, but you didn't like it. What do you want?" You can see the guy thinking, this kid outsmarted me and I don't even know how. We see a student named Joef in his final year working on his graduation project. He's very smart, like Uncle Crancho, but the professors and principal target him because he understands more than he memorizes. In our world, memorization is everything. The principal tells the boy's father, "Sorry, but your son can't graduate because he's been causing problems at school. We don't like your son." Not behind the scenes. Uncle Crancho needs help, but they can't reach his room in time, and he collapses from intense pressure. Later, he attends his own funeral. The principal explains people believe the boy died from the rope on his neck, but it was actually head pressure that caused his death. "May God be my witness against you, you infidels, your son. May God be my witness against you." The next day, Uncle Crancho confronts the principal about the flawed teaching method, angrily takes him to a lecture, and demands an explanation. "So, you think you're the know-it-all? Let's see what you'll do." He sits among the students to watch, saying, "Come on, let's see what you'll do, Mr. Know-it-all." Uncle Crancho grabs the book, selects some words, writes 2 on the board, and tells the students, "You have 30 seconds." And you ask him, what do these words mean? And everyone starts looking in the book, but they can't find anything about those 2 words. When the time is up, he tells them, "You all kept searching for the meaning in the book just to solve it, that's all. And no one thought about understanding or learning something new, so the manager asks, 'Are you okay? But what's in the word? What do these 2 words mean?' He says, 'No, honestly, they don't have a meaning. They're just my friends' names, Rojo and Farhan, that's all.' So the manager understands and thinks, is this guy going to mess with us too, or what? He messages Rojo and Farhan's fathers, saying their kids are following a loser who will make them fail. And we see that they went to Farhan's house. But the father scolds Rancho because he thinks he's ruining his son. And Uncle Rancho sees some pictures hanging up and realizes that Farhan is the one who took them. He tells him, "Why don't you continue with photography? Forget about engineering. This isn't your place anyway." After that, they walk around and decide to crash a random wedding, and by coincidence, it turns out to be the wedding of the principal's daughter. That's when Uncle Rancho meets Pia, the principal's daughter herself. And she's actually the bride's sister, not the bride herself, just so you know. Pay attention, just so you don't get confused. That's it, you don't even know me. Kai annoys her fiancé, calling him arrogant for always mentioning the price of everything she wears. And he really does. The manager saw them at the wedding, then called them to his office the next day, threatening to expel and ruin them if they didn't avoid Uncle Rancho boasting about his wealth. "It won't affect me if you get expelled." Your Uncle Raju gets scared and applies with chowder. Then on September 5th, he carves the date on the wall, and we see your Aunt Pia with Rancho. They were about to fight with each other. He insults her fiancé, calling him stingy and suggesting they test him. He hides the watch he gave her and tells her to say it's lost. When she does, he exclaims, "How could you lose it? It's expensive. Are you crazy? I bought it for you." "Lost? The watch, what about it? Is it about the money?" So of course she gives him the watch, and she tells him, "Go away, I don't want to see your face again." Why doesn't she say, "Well, hey, I'm the one telling you"? Abu Rajo's mother is in the hospital sick. Francho and Pia visited them, and your Uncle Rancho stood with them. Your Aunt Pia genuinely liked him. The next day they had an exam, arrived late, and finished late. The man who insulted the doctor refuses their papers. Uncle Rancho asks if he knows their names or how many were there. He says no to both. No, he just looks at you, gets confused, and mixes up the papers. "And then it's between us. You see, you managed to hold on to the paper." Then we see the results day, and everyone passed. But your Uncle Rancho came first, and the smart guy came second. See how understanding puts you in first place? So what about you? You just watch. You don't understand. You don't memorize. You don't do anything at all in your life. Come on, go. The important thing is, your Uncle Rancho was actually happy that they came last, and everyone is taking the graduation photo. And we see that now they're looking for your Uncle Rancho in the present time. And when they arrive, they find someone else. The name is there, but we find out from this man that he is actually the real Rancho. And he tells them that the one who was with them in college was actually the son of their gardener. And because he loved learning, he went to college instead of him. They find out that he is now working as a teacher. So they go to see him, and Chatur's happy, working as a teacher. And I look, and he remembers Uncle Farhan. They were out drinking when he told Rancho, "You're a coward. Confess your love to Pia." Then they jumped the principal's elephant statues, and Rancho confessed to her. Sensing something odd, the principal checks on them, so they escape and spend the night at the university. The next day, Raja is drunk when the principal arrives and tries to take him to his office, but they refuse, despite his pleas. He asks them to give him another chance, saying, "Come on, boss, give me another chance, please." Then he says, "Fine, should I write Rancho's name instead of yours?" In the letter, he asks if he agrees, but hesitates and becomes very scared. He attempts suicide by jumping out the window, but survives. He spends a long time in the hospital. Like that. He doesn't speak. But your Uncle Rancho and Farhan encourage him to cheer up. Rancho convinces Farhan to work as a photographer, which he loves, and Farhan tells his father. Rancho then starts working at a company, and your Uncle Rancho had one thing left. Uncle Rancho needs to pass one more exam to be accepted. With Pia's help, they try to get the exam from the manager's office, but are caught and rejected. At home, he confronts Pia. Why did you give them the key? Give me the exam. She says, I helped them so they wouldn't end up like my brother, who killed himself because of your pressure to get in. College of Engineering, may God judge you? How could you be so cruel? And what about him? I wanted to go to the College of Arts, but she left while her sister was giving birth. There were no ambulances, and the cars broke down in front of the college. The three go out to help and video call Uncle Baytak, who's a doctor, for assistance. Somehow the girl's mother, after a lot of hardship, gives birth to a boy, and thank God, everyone is happy. The principal appears, and Rancho returns the pen he once received. Your Uncle Rancho graduates as the ideal student. No one saw his mother's face again. And your Uncle Chatter stopped searching for Rancho because of his job. They force him to go, saying, you came as his son, now you want to leave? Come on. They bring your aunt, who's getting married, along too. The wedding is chaotic. They visit Rancho, meet Millimeter, who is thrilled to see them after years, and he takes them to Rancho. They happily hit him when they meet. And Chatter comes and tells him, come on, you loser, you idiot, you teacher. My allowance is bigger than you, son. Come on, shame on you, son. He looks at him and says, sorry, boss, I beat you. Can you just sign here for me? Just sign here, that's all. Look, I just like it this way. So of course, he takes out the pen that he took from the principal. Okay, those two boys who came with you, give it here, man. You don't deserve this pen anyway. Sorry, goodbye now. Look, I like it because I have it with the world. They see I'm Hamdi making a historic deal as he leaves, then ask, what's your real name? So he tells them that his name is Angido. Shame on you, Chatur. He turned out to be nothing, and your Uncle Chatur should have signed the contract with him from the start. Now, Anjado is making people forget your Uncle Chatur, and he tells him that he's coming on the 20th. From now on, he says, sorry, from now on, I don't know if I have the contract. He asks, then why? Why is it up to me? Why didn't you sign the deal, sir? He replies, no, sorry, that's it. Take my pen, so he realizes, oh no, I'm sorry, Uncle Wangido. I didn't know and want to change, honestly. And of course, they're all running out of joy and happiness, and that's it. We all understand now that understanding is the solution, and memorization isn't important. And you don't waste time. No, go study now, you animal, because you're just watching and not doing anything useful in your life. You neither understand nor memorize anything, and you just spend your time playing PlayStation games. So let's just keep quiet. Let's keep quiet, okay? I swear on my mother, I'll tell your mom, and that's it. The story's over. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and follow, guys. And also support Kaim and Qasim, because that's how it is.